want to know how to fight? I'm talking about that can produce a black eye. They don't do none of that.
You all that hooping and hollering. No. That's for sure. That's a distraction.
Right. Oh, that
welcome.
Camera.
Welcome. Yeah, come back on.
Oh, it started recording. I didn't put on the camera. And the book, what is it?
The book is right here.
Oh, it's right here. Okay. Oh, okay.
All right, welcome back. We had to get rid of the killing. Tell the grandma you say killing. Just killing out of here. Man, kids play. Got grown folks conversation.
Hello. Now it's our turn.
Now it's our turn. We wanted to switch the topic from the bullying for children and in schools to it carrying over into adulthood. And the reason that I called you was to talk about bullying again was just because when I saw the video, I mean, I watched it, I shared it out, and then I had to text you to reach out to you, make sure you're like, you all right?
Yes.
To make sure that you were okay.
Yes.
Because it's not that it was out of character, because it was like, it was a read.
Right.
But I'm just nice to see you can get to the point where you have to do that.
Right. You've never seen it.
I've never seen you do that.
Right.
And I said, let me make sure she's okay because people who messing with her don't know who they messing with, first of all. Right. And if they doing those things, I'm like, all right, so now it's fighting when she outside. Right. You know?
Right.
So that was my reason for calling you.
And thank you for calling me. This is a conversation that's long overdue, not just for us here in Northern New Jersey or the surrounding cities, but for all over the world, right? Mm-hmm. Bullying has become this phenomenon that's plaguing families, the lives of individuals. And it's a sad thing to talk about, but we must. Mm-hmm. I would say one thing, self-preservation is the first law of nature, and oftentimes people are taught that fighting back is not a good look for you. And I agree. Our first resolve should not be fighting, physically fighting. We should be able to communicate and mitigate matters to where we see some solutions. However, many people speak up for themselves, and we still have the case of bullying and mobbing. So that leads me to getting to the bottom of why. Workplace bullying. A lot of bullies, I forgot which article I read, right? This was back in last year, 2024. A lot of the employees that's targeted on the job is because they're self-directed, right? So what we mean by self-directed, these are people that don't need a person to tell them what to do. They're self-starters. They have their own inner guidance and leadership where they come into the job and they just do what they have to do. They're solution-based. Their style of communication is also solution-based. And oftentimes they create new systems that's better for the company moving forward. Well, the other employees feel some type of way. They think that you're making them look bad. They don't call that on themselves. They would say the employee who's self-directed, or back in the day we used to call that the self-starter. It's really the same thing. Self-starter, self-directed, same thing. That person is considered the bad guy because everyone else don't have that same way, or they don't want to develop that same way. But some of you can learn to be like that. Mm-hmm. But oftentimes people are, should I say lazy? Let's keep it straight. Some people are just lazy on the job, right? And they don't want to do more than what they're doing. Right. And that's okay. The problem is wanting to make someone else's life hard who wants to come on their job and be exceptional and not accepting that there are just some people that are happy to be exceptional. professional on the job. Now, unfortunately, those employees are mobbed to the point of no return. At a job I used to work at, a woman had caught a nervous breakdown on the job because of that, right? So your anxiety goes up, your depression goes up, because you don't realize that you're being targeted and attacked and you don't know why, because they don't communicate those things to you. So you're under attack and you're trying to do your job and you're thinking, listen, this is, I have to take care of the family, this is where my money comes from, and it interferes with a person's mental health. It interferes with their ability to be effective and efficient on their job. It interferes with the bottom line. A lot of people are getting taken brain aneurysm. You name it. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. There was a time where I would have debated that, which I would have said, no, yeah, that's how I am. I've always been the same person when it comes to my personality. I'm like, I'm one of those independent workers. I'm an independent thinker. I don't need people to ride my back to get nothing done. I show up, I show out. Right? I've always been that person, but I have also been the person who has stopped that, like, you do whatever you want, but don't try to dictate what I do. I'm going to continue to do me.
Absolutely.
You can do you show up however you want. You don't have to show up the way I show up. I don't give a hoot and toot. It has nothing to do with me. But that was because I've never felt what you described. There was a time that I had never felt that. I couldn't relate. So I was like, I don't know. Why did you don't speak up? Why did you don't speak up? But I was in a position once, and it wasn't too long ago, 7 years ago, right before I started working where I'm working now. And I worked somewhere, and I said, oh, that's what they're talking about. Oh, they fucking with me. They fucking with me. But they ain't fucking with me. I mean, that's it. But I had to think about that. I was like, yo, you gotta work, you got bills to pay. Like, where are we going with this? It only took me a couple of days because my temperament and my patience and I already know. But I had to really think about it. I said, where are you going with this? Because you got things to do. You have to financially sustain yourself right now. So now, and you got people to think about other than yourself.
Right.
Then I had to realize who I was, and I wasn't staying here no more because it wasn't beneficial for me. And it was doing exactly what you said. To make me even have to stand up and recognize, it hurt my feelings. It hurt my feelings. It hurt my pride because I second guessed leaving.
Right.
It did all those things to me in those couple of days. Right. But I made the decision to leave because I said I can't stay here. Right. I wouldn't even be my best self here.
There we go.
I can't show up as me here. I can't get the job done here. Right. And I'm going to allow somebody else to dictate how I show up for myself. Right. That can't happen.
Right. And I'm happy you had that. The other thing is that you move around. You have connections. No, there's a lot of people who don't do that. A lot of people, now you're community oriented, so you got a lot of lanes that are open where you can teach something like that and say, okay, I'm gone. There's a lot of people that when they're on the job, that's it. It's just right. That job. They don't have any lanes, any other connections. Sure. That job is their lifeline.
Or just, not that really that's the truth, but because ain't nobody, I tell you, they might know me. I just do it on my own. But my choice, my decision to, like, the reason I was following the fence is because we gotta be able to live out here in these streets. We do. And we gotta go and we gotta put up with some shit. And this is one of the things I thought about when I thought about men. And I'm changing something, I'm sorry, but I gotta go back. I know that, not all, but there are some in the workplace, black men, who, when I went through what I went through, it was with Caucasian women. It was 2 Caucasian women. And they weren't like they were like talking crap to me, but they had the ability and they were in a position that they could do things that would make me look kind of bad.
Right.
And I'm like, you can't destroy my character or my reputation.
Right.
I have a reputation.
Right.
So when I come to the table, they know how I'm showing up. You can't destroy that.
Right.
I'm not gonna sit here and let you. Absolutely. So there wasn't nothing I could really do to stop you, so I gotta leave. Right. I couldn't do nothing to stop you.
Right. And they won't stop.
And they will not stop.
Right.
And when I think about black men who got shot to work, deal with that, it's a lot of them that deal with that. That's when I really thought about it, because when you never experience something,
right.
You know, you just don't know.
You don't know, and it depends on where you work. So it's about the dynamics of your job. Now, if you're someone that's like independent, where your job consists of you having to go out and do things and not around coworkers per se, you may not have that experience, right? But once you're locked in, when you have to see people every day and work with them every day, and the problem with women is you look good, you have a nice shape, you dress well, you're smart, you're a problem. Like, you can't be all of that, right? Because now women compete way too much with other women, and they say to themselves, "There's no way I can compete with this person," right? So they're looking for position, and it's usually about attention. It's the attention that they're looking for, they're not getting, because you cover all angles as far as what you do and how you show up as a human being. And that's one of the reasons also why you're getting targeted. It's unfortunate. Because it's not just self-starters. I've seen women who are not self-starters that get targeted on children. Nice and petite, they dress. I never forget one name was Lourdes, and she sat in the first chair of our row. So she was the first person you saw when you came into the office. Everybody was asking Lourdes. She wasn't a self-starter, but she was petite. She was an attractive woman, she dressed well, and she looked nice. So these are the things that women do. And it goes back to what I was talking about personality disorders. When people are doing that, they're showing a personality disorder. Unfortunately, people with narcissistic personality disorder, psychopathy, sociology, whatever. I'm tripping over my tongue. However, these personality disorders have a lot of pride, and they're out in this world like an open wound, and they behave like you should know that they exist in that world. So you showing up, being exceptional, it hurts them. It's like stepping on their wound, and now they will launch a covert attack on you, and you don't even realize that that's been plotted against you. And their main goal is to see you diminished right in front of them. Because there's a lot of people that these things happen to, and they don't realize they do attack like that, and they start to diminish. Their glow has gone from them. They're getting wrinkles. They're not doing their hair anymore. They're always looking stressed out. They watch you every day and laugh because they want to see you look diminished because you show up too well in the world. And the rest of society don't realize that there's people who actually think like that.
There are people who think that way. I know in this class, they think that way. They think like they like when things don't go your way.
Right.
Right? They like when you mess up.
Right.
Right? So the helping hand that is extended to you in some circumstances, it ain't even about helping.
Right.
But we gotta be able to just know those things. Well, people don't. And we can get tricked as fools. Which is what happened with you.
Yeah.
You know, we get tricked as fools.
We get tricked as fools because, listen, for all that I've known, I'll say this: we go through things in life, and those things that we go through in life that take us off of our square for being centered when we see the world as it needs to be is right where the wrong people will creep up and we don't realize it, right? Because they don't show up as an enemy. And just like I explained before, whatever it is that they're looking for, that they see that you have, is in their goal to diminish it, right? So they're not going to show up as an enemy. If they did, then you'll protect yourself. They're going to show up as a friend, and you won't realize it. They're going to say discernment. And unfortunately, we get that gut.
And we ignore it.
We ignore it, but here's why we ignore it. Because they've got a smile on their face. And they're not speaking with an attitude or no anger. And they're showing up so.
That's why we ignore it. That's why we ignore it. Sometimes I think we ignore it because it's, okay, hate. I know. It would just keep going. I don't know what it's a want. It's something. Cause it's something. It's a want. It's something. That's a yearning. Whatever the hell it is that make us go. I'm gonna do it anyway.
Yeah. So I'll get to that, right? So that comes from us knowing that we can take care of ourselves, right? So if you feel like you're a damsel in distress, most likely you might listen to your discernment because you know you're not good with handling yourself. But when you know that you're great with handling yourself, it's like, now it's not that bad. You think it's not that bad, right? But when your when your intuition gives you that alert, it's not that you can't handle yourself, is that the attack that they got planned for you is insidious and it's covert. It's nothing that you can defend yourself from. So therefore, we gotta pull back. When we get that feeling, this is not something that I'm ready to go forward and deal with because I will be in a web before I realize, and now I gotta peel myself from all these webs. Do we really have the time for that? You know? And so I think with society, with the thing that you called me in regards to what's happening in the community, I want to say this when it comes to girls. Let me say this first. This is extremely important, right? Because I don't think men do this to each other the way women and girls do this to each other. We have to understand that we're all beautiful the way God created us, you know. And until young girls and women find our beauty and find the peace within and the courage to stand upright with who we are, we're going to continue to lash out on other women because of attention. You think someone else is getting that, we're not getting. What you have to say, what you have to understand is that everybody is not going to get the same attention and for the same thing. That's where we all have our strengths and we all have our weaknesses. Find what your strengths are and lean into that and find your tribe and your people who actually like what you have to offer. And you'll see that there's an abundance of love and attention that's out there for you. But unfortunately, you cannot change how other people were born. No one can, not even the mother who makes her child can have any control over how that child is born. God made our bodies the way it is, that baby is going to develop how it is meant to develop and it's going to look how it is meant to look naturally. We have no control over that. And to fight, beat, kill other young women and girls because of how they look and the attention that they gave is actually telling God that God made a mistake by giving this person these qualities because you're upset about these qualities. That's first and foremost. The next thing I want to talk about with society is with this mobbing mentality, understand that it's bigger than what it is, right? When there are rumors said about girls in particular to assassinate a girl's character, it is to remove that girl from her support. And they usually do that to girls and women that have a lot of support, right? So the way you're going to remove her from her social proof and support is by assassinating her character with rumors so that people can receive from her. And when that happens, when people plot that for a woman or a girl, ultimately they want to kill her. That's ultimately this, and this is not. I'm not saying this to say this. Let's look at the stats, right? Nita Jenkins, Shanquilla Robinson. There's so many women, young girls that this has happened to. I forgot the name. And if there are countless women and young girls that this has happened to, and it has happened in the same way, ultimately they won't be dead. But they can't do it if you still have the support and social proof that you have. This is where society and the community is needed to step up. And I say this again, critical thinking is important, right? And this is where, how can I say, leadership and just being mature about thought processes come up. If you're saying that this person did X, Y, and Z, which who knows what the rumors are. There are different rumors for different rumors. But let's say this person is the bad person that you're putting them out to be. I don't see it. Because these things are happening right in the face. People are seeing people do these things to other people right in the face. But you're listening to a rumor, but you show up like what it is that they're saying. So you have to say to yourself, but every time I see this person, they're not showing up as that. I don't know if it's true or not, but all I can go by is what I see from my own eyes. I don't see that of this person. Therefore, I don't think the punishment right now is defined. That's where people need to step up. You understand what I'm saying? I don't see this happening. Step up like I don't think we're going in the right direction by allowing this to happen. Because what we're doing is actually offending the other person when I don't see it the other way around. That's what needs to happen, right? So that we make sure that we're being protectors of other people in this world. That's how God made us. We're not just here and work our jobs and take care of our families, but when we go out there, we're calling ourselves a community. And we're doing things where you're calling a lot of people to join you in these endeavors. Then you should feel somewhat responsible for the well-being about everybody that's coming to support what it is that you have got going on, right? And it's unfortunate that a person will come to support what you have going on, and then for them to receive this kind of vitriol and humiliation and degradation while supporting your endeavor.
Somebody, and this is, that statement can be applied to anything, like business or whatever it is.
Absolutely.
You should not let nobody can come in and tear down Poochie.
Right.
Right? Nobody's going to come in and do something that doesn't represent Poochie Place the way that I represent Poochie Place.
Right.
Because you or Ena Books Court,
Right.
or anything that I have my hand in, that I have say so in, and that's only Ena Books Court and Poochie Place, like a few things.
Right.
Nobody's coming in messing with that. Nobody's coming in treating people crazy. Nobody's coming in trying to manipulate or lie or not show up or don't give good customer service or nobody's coming in here doing that, because whatever you do is a representation of me. And I'm not going to allow you to tear down what I have going on for myself. And that's all the way across the board. You have to come out here and represent me. Right. I'm not telling you how to walk, talk, and think, and what to eat and drink.
Right.
But what I'm telling you is that to be here, and this is why people always say, why you stop? Why you? Because you said this on social media. You ain't representing these corporations talking like that on social media. You're not representing these corporations being a racist, discriminating against people, hurting little kids. That's not the representation that they want for themselves. And they have every right to get rid of you. Because when you work, you don't just work for them. You are a part of them. And that's the laziness with people. People show up from 9 to 5 or want to do just what they could do, and they don't care about nothing else. Those are the people that don't care about the ship. Because in your video, I heard that was not. If there were so many messages in there, there were so many messages. When I was like, there were so many of them in there, and that was a big one.
Definitely. The other one is this: women, young girls, we're born with all the age we're ever going to have. With all the age that we're ever going to have, which means that whatever trauma your mother went through, her whole body went through that. So you are a product of that. It's important for me to say this because with this culture that's going on, with the violence that women and young girls are having with one another, we're destroying our future, right? And if we don't heal ourselves from that, we're going to continue to pass that kind of energy, that kind of hatred, and really get down on to your seeds that you already have. And then your daughter may grow up to either be someone who's doing that to someone else's daughter or be the receiver of someone else's daughter doing that to them. We have to know when to break the cycles and see what is going on here. The other thing is this. Our community comrade, she moved down to North Carolina. She had a daughter who was murdered a couple of years ago, Sulima. One of the things she said in her video, she made her video after mine, was who was coming down the pipeline in I think another girl passed away. Who was coming down the pipeline? See, spiritually, the devil knows what God is bringing down the pipeline. And if the next generation of first breakers coming down the pipeline, it will be that out and bringing a great being into this world. I don't think that we're seeing ourselves serious enough. We're not seeing what our contribution to this world is. And we're not seeing past the flesh. Going back to what Dawn talked about with how we're representing these companies. We're not having enough serious conversation to even understand how we're showing up in the world, the things that we should be talking about, the things we should be taking into consideration, not just to take it into consideration, but for our own salvation, right? In any way, they don't what they say, the weaker one, pass along, right? In nature, the weak male don't get to breed, right? It doesn't matter what animal it is. That's the one that's going to fall by the wayside, right? With us as human beings, it is the person who has the least amount of resources and the least amount of wherewithal, right? But unfortunately, that's how it's supposed to go and typically goes. But because they know that that's an issue and people still want to be lazy, they're looking to feed off the ones who actually have the wherewithal and get them out of the way so that they can go ahead and perpetrate the fraud. That is
Which is not even lasting. Like you can't fake your way somewhere.
You cannot
do it. You can't do it. You can't fake your way to a certain position, a certain. You just cannot do it. There's no way.
They always mean wrong.
Yeah, there's no way you're gonna do it. You can't sustain it.
Right.
It ain't gonna work. If you even get anywhere, it's a process.
Right.
It's just like a bullying your way to the top. To
Right.
be at the top and go, now what do I do?
Right.
Yeah, like what?
With no problem solving thought processes, just nothing. But the goal for them is to always be feeding off of those who do it while they make the money. And that's in reverse, right? So those are high spiritual climbs when you can just do the work on yourself to make yourself that person. The other thing I want to say is for those of us who are the problem solvers, who are the creators, and so on and so forth, we got to get to the point where we're better strategists about ourselves, right? Because we're the ones that are being targeted. Shanquilla Robinson was a business owner. So all of her friends, let's go back to Shanquilla. They're during COVID, they all got that PPP loan or whatever that loan was, right? She had skills that she wanted to do here, so she bought a business, and now her business is booming. She's making great money. They spent the whole their money, now they're making on Shanquilla. And that's the plot. We're going to take her to Mexico and kill her over there in Mexico and come back like nothing happened. You know, we can't afford to be enterprising, to be great problem solvers, and think that people are not going to be after us. We have to learn how to be great strategists about ourselves, and we also have to learn how to be dangerous because somebody will try to take you out. That's what this bullying is the ultimate goal for bullying is to actually, and it's unfortunate that we have to talk this way, but this is not just coming from my mouth. This is the truth. That is what they're ultimately trying to do. And we need more of society to step in and say, listen, this is not right. You get yourself together. That's what you said I was back in the day. All of this he say, she say, what are you doing for yourself? Let me see you read. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes that's what they used to do back in the day. Since we talking about it and picking on them people so much, pick up a book and read. Because if you can't read, now I'm going to tell you you're spending too much time hating on somebody else and talking about somebody else when you don't have yourself together. Because if you can't read, you ain't getting a job.
Right? You just don't have the time.
Right.
Like who has the time to engage in that type of the time it takes to come and to start picking with somebody or talking. You're so invested in that person that you're not even invested in yourself. Like you ain't doing nothing. If you could sit online and write a paragraph about somebody or search and see what somebody's doing or show up in the space with somebody you are that person takes up, and they say this all the time, that much space in your head. Yeah, living rent free in your head. Absolutely. What are you doing though? What are you doing? What are you doing with yourself and your time?
Right. And see that right there, I'll say this. If you don't if you're lazy about yourself and your time, it's okay. That's not a crime. The problem is that it doesn't sit well with the individual who's lazy about their time in regards to the person who isn't. We need more conversations about that because that is a major issue in our world, in society. And we need more conversations about personality disorders because there's too much pride and ego going on where people think that you're stepping on their toes and you should just take a back seat to them, not caring that we all have a purpose here. You know, there's things going on, and what makes me tick is not what makes me tick. And we have the freedom to go out here and be the individuals that God created us to be. What they're saying is that you're not allowed to be that. The other issue is when you leave, you say you disassociate. When you learn that people are not healthy for you and you choose to disassociate, they think that they don't want to let you disassociate in peace. That is crossing all types of boundaries. Those are crimes against humanity. I don't think people understand how serious that is. When a person decides to disassociate and move along in peace, and you send other people to go and mob and bully that person, you don't want that person to enjoy their lives or do the things that they do that makes them happy. Those are crimes against humanity. And those are the things that need to be addressed. But unfortunately, there are too many people in society that are insecure and they're not happy with their own lives. So unfortunately, when they see other people going through it, they don't step in because they are glad to see someone else getting treated the way they feel about themselves.
So what you're saying basically, what I'm hearing, because the difference between this bullying and that, you know, when you become an adult and you have certain um positions or whatever, it's different than when these kids are out here hitting. So you kind of turn over like it's different. It's the same thing. Don't get me wrong. It's the same thing, but you go from being able to physically bully someone to being able to mentally bully someone, spiritually bully someone, emotionally bully someone. So there's so many different.
So adults, I'm happy that you mentioned that. So the thing with adults, no one wants to get arrested and go to jail, right? Because if that's the case, then they will physically, and they do it because ultimately the goal is to do something to you and not be held accountable. But before that happens, their goal is also to remove you from your accolades. If you have a business, they don't want you to have the clients anymore. They want to have you removed from making the money. You know, so they're more their form of bullying, an adult's form of bullying is directly tailored to making your life miserable. So their goal is to avoid you of everything that you need, all the resources that you put out yourself out there to obtain to make your life comfortable. Their goal is to avoid you of that so that your life is not what you're making your life to be. They want it to be opposite to that. That's their goal. And unfortunately, too many people in society sit back and look at that. We're all here to live and make a living for ourselves. They don't want you to make that living for yourself. And then when I speak about spirituality, it also speaks to the fact that they want something that you have that they don't have. It's whatever your energy carries, the way you speak, the way you drive points, the way you solve problems. That's another reason why they don't want you to walk away in peace. They want to have proximity to you. To diminish you, but they're also learning off of you at the same time, right? So they're going to learn off of you and try to take, and sometimes you have people that learn from the person and they take it to new levels. Everybody don't learn from here and do nothing about it. Some people take it to new levels. We don't know who is who. That's why the thing is we have to protect ourselves and protect our energy, right? So the boogeyman is not the man that just, not only the man that just snatch up little kids and snatch up women and, rape people or mob them and kill them. That's a different type of person. Then you have the ones that's coming after your intellectual property, that they're coming after your resolve, right? And your resolve is the way God made you think and how you move around in the world. Some people don't have good problem solving skills.
I think you did. I think you solved that problem.
Yes.
You did. I don't know. I'm not familiar with it. I'm not. I just know what I heard you say in the video. So when I was listening to the video, it wasn't so much that I was aware of who the characters. I know some of the names, of course, but I'm not necessarily aware of the characters or what transpired and the problems. I didn't know any of that when I listened. But what I did know is that it's not in your nature to do that,
No.
right? And somebody had to be messing with you,
Yeah.
and that you read their asses.
Yeah.
Right?
So I'm going to go straight out and go from the drugstore. We're talking about the surrogate, the Essex County surrogate, Alter Retain. Because I mentioned his name on my live. He has a history of bullying people, right? He has a history of particularly bullying women. Sure. He particularly has a history of bullying women. So he is who I'm talking about when I distanced myself from him and saw how he took that and made it his business to have my character assassinated, to have people come after me, they did everything in their power to provoke me, try to start fights, right? Well, because I can handle myself, the fight hasn't broken out. I've ignored them, but the humiliation and the degradation that they tried to put me through is very important for us to pay attention to. And this is somebody that I used to call my friend. Right?
Did that happen over a certain period of time, or did it just happen that time?
This has been going on for years. I stopped fighting with the group in 2021. When I created this video was in December of 2024. Because I had another fight group at the Christmas party. You had the woman, she's flinging her hand, by the side of my face. This is Kalani, I can say her name, but she's flinging her hand in my personal space like this. Now, we're on the street and you're doing something like that, and I don't have to fuck you up. You understand? No, that's because you don't do that, right? And that's not the first time she did that. We were at another event in the summertime, and she's in my face, and then I started pointing my fingers at her, and she understands you gotta get your hands the fuck out my face. So right, that's the level of disrespect, and then my thing is, you got other people watching that, and no one decided to speak to her about it, right? But they let her do that because again, I don't know what the rumor is that was said about me. So whatever is being said, it is almost like people feel like they believe that, and so whatever she does is fine. But I'm not showing up as that. Do you get what I'm saying? Now, the other thing is, I don't run my mouth a lot, and that makes people uncomfortable. So keeping to myself makes them uncomfortable because they don't know how to read me, right? And so, where am I writing? Or it doesn't matter. Okay, I'm writing here, right? So keeping to myself, make them don't know how to read me, and that's fine. But to make sense, to assassinate my character and bully me to that extent speaks volumes that they were coming after the things that I'm building. So I have a program that I think I told you about for ACEs to HBCUs in trade that I want to send kids to either HBCU, culinary arts school, or trade school throughout the state of New Jersey, not just New York and the surrounding cities, throughout the state of New Jersey. Everything they're doing points to them wanting to remove me from being able to do the things that I have set out to do. And it speaks volumes to Alter is misogynistic. He shows up as a person that has narcissistic personality disorder and like the malignant one. So the malignant narcissist is the one that has deep negative traits. So you have the narcissist that likes to be in the spotlight, but they're happy-go-lucky. They're not causing any trouble, and they like it to be all about them. And they're the fun person, right? That's different from the person who has an insidious way of setting traps to see you fail because they don't want you to succeed. All while want you to be in proximity to them because they want to bite off of the things that you do. you know, and nobody took it. It's unfortunate because he had an assistant, and his assistant had to quit the job. You know, he was disrespecting his assistant on the job. You got the Latino woman on the job bullying her in the job. You know,
So
and
he has a history with bullying.
he has a history.
But
He got fired from City Hall for the same thing.
that's the surrogate is not a city job; it's a county job.
It's a county job, but he used to work at City Hall.
Oh,
And he got fired because of the same character. And then that's how he ended up getting that surrogate position. So I'm saying, you know, he has to bounce around because of who he is. And my problem is, you can't just fire a person because he's in the community and he's pretending to be somebody that he's not. You need to address that. And my thing is this: I thought he was someone that he's not. I know how to handle situations with people. I have never been in a situation like this in my entire life, and I'm 48 years old. I've never, ever, ever been in a situation like this because I know how to deal with people.
so in the situation that you were in, it was it wasn't like you said it was a couple of years. So during COVID and after, was there a lot of time? I just can't. Did you get into some confrontations with them? That's what I'm asking. Did you have to have other confrontations?
I didn't get into confrontations, so there's a young lady, Kalila.
Mm-hmm.
We're the same age, so she's not young. She's from Texas. She attempted to fight me a couple of years ago at a bike ride in Irving, but she's a natural born hater. And I say she reminds me of the woman that shot and killed the singer Selena. And I don't know if you saw the movie Single White Female. She reminds me of that character, and so I stay away from her. How we used to fight when we used to talk, but she has this, she doesn't respect boundaries, and she tries to dominate who she's around. And because I'm assertive, but I don't have a dominant personality. I don't care to. I can, but if I'm talking, I'm just talking. She, it's like they pick and choose. They're predatory, and if they think that they can dominate you, then she would. So she thought that I was the one. Right. Now, when she tried to fight me in Irvington, I told her, whatever you say, as long as you stay over here, that's fine. Somebody went to grab her and let her go. Because if you come over here with that bullshit, I'm going to fuck you up. That's exactly what I told her. I don't care what you say, as long as you stay over here. You come over here, and I'll fuck you up. You know, this is not Texas. I don't know what you did. That's why you're bouncing around from state to state. But she gonna come here to New Jersey and meet her fate. Yeah. But that attitude she has is too, and like right now, they're friends with her, but they don't realize that a couple of months last year, or the day before, the year before, she had got sued from a coworker for
we got to make sure we keep putting allegedly.
All
this stuff.
Allegedly. But I saw the document. I saw the document. Allegedly, you get sued for discrimination. They filed a civil rights lawsuit. You understand what kind of person you got to be? This is a black woman to have a civil rights lawsuit against you. You understand that's the kind of character this person has. But everybody around us thinks she's a friend. No, you don't think she's a friend. Too many people vibrate on that mean energy.
So do you think that you have gotten yourself into a space where you don't belong? Because if you've been going all your life without dealing with this type of thing, I think it could be that you're in a space where you don't belong.
I agree. And you know why?
You're not playing ball.
No. Because, and I also don't do groups. See, this is the first time in my life of doing things with a group of people. I typically do things by myself. And so, and this is why I don't do groups. You know what I mean?
I don't do groups either.
Because people want people, and there's always people in the group that have this type of mentality. And when you're trying to talk about it, people act like you crazy, you don't know what you do. They act like they don't see it. And oftentimes it's because they want the results to happen. A lot of people are not happy with their lives, and they want to see the person who seems to be happy, the person that they think has it all, they want to see you struggling.
Because your happiness interferes with their misery.
Right.
Basically, they don't want to see you smile, and they can't. People are hurting.
Right.
and to see somebody around them that's not. Even if we are, it's like we wear our things differently.
Hello.
You
Because
know?
I lost
You
my
lost your,
sister, four or
yeah.
three other family members. I was an abused child. This is not my first book. You know the first book. I went through spiritual development to get myself out of my trauma to a place of peace and pure happiness. So when they see me, they see peace and pure happiness. But meanwhile, a lot of these people haven't had the half the life I had. The misery that they have is directly it's their bad decision making.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? So you're making bad decisions and you're dealing with the consequences of it, and you're mad. No, you know, I'm not. And then you're looking for the person who got peace to take it out of. That's why I created that video because I it's these patterns of people. And when people don't succeed in doing and getting the results that they want from you for what they've been doing, they keep upping the ante on their action. So next, the action will be somebody's going to get them and put their hands on me. And I'm going to go to jail. If I haven't addressed anybody because of the energy that they have, you can tell that they want to argue. And this is coming from out to me. So nothing I say is going to create a balance or solution because he wants to see me disrespected and he wants me to be uncomfortable. So they're prepared to not listen to anything I say. So the things that they're saying and doing, and I go about my business, I'm not going to entertain that, right? If it was authentic, then we can talk some things, mitigate some things, and come to a solution. But the way they were doing things, it was best for me to ignore. And what I don't like is that I held myself accountable by ignoring them, not starting issues, and then having to fuck somebody up and create issues for everybody else to get involved. And still alone, I'm looking at the bad guy. How much can a black woman take? This is what pisses me off with society as a whole, where they think that black women ain't shit and we are supposed to take shit.
Sounds like to me that, and I had two things because first, when I first said to you, it sounds like you're in spaces you don't belong. I said after I said that, I was like, why would you say that? Like you belong where you belong, right? You belong where you belong.
We belong where we belong.
Right?
We're
You
all
have
human beings.
every right to be in the space that you are in and to be respected. And it seems like you're trying to be bullied out of that space. And that's the problem that I have. That's the problem.
And that is exactly what they were trying to do. Now let me tell you, this the other cycling group that I had joined. I had no intentions on renewing my membership because the president did nothing to mitigate the matter. He sees these things happening, and what I find as you're the president and you're in a position of leadership, what you should say is, listen, I don't know what's the truth or what's not the truth, but this is what I know. This group does not represent that. And what's happening here is breaking down the morale of this group, and I need that to stop. And whoever he's saying that to won't be me, because I keep ignoring them and I'll move in another direction. You would have to say to the people that are doing the things that they're doing. What I don't like about his weak ass is he allows some unwise women that act like little sixth graders on the playground to come in here and nearly ruin a good system. You didn't pay attention to what they were doing because you were listening to their manipulation. Instead of saying, I don't care. This does not represent what our home represents. That goes back to what you said earlier. If people are doing things, you can't come here and tear down what you have going on. You're not going to allow someone to come in here and act different from the principles and the morals that you have. You're not going to tell them who to be as a human being. But you can't come here and exchange with me and do something that's going to have people questioning my character and my brand. At least we got to be in alignment with that. Everything else is up for grabs. What I don't like is that he had no ground to stand on and he did not represent the club. Now, I was not. I told you I wasn't going to renew my subscription. This video, this live was made when was it, the 16th and 19th of December. Sends me an email to say I'm being removed from the group because of talking about acts of violence and all the bullshit that he talked about. I said unsolicited text messages because I to, and was told that that department was not there. So obviously, somebody went down there to Green Street and had them say, listen, if Arlene comes here, make sure she's unable to press charges. You get what I'm saying? And the way, the things that they were doing, I didn't have anything concrete and no evidence.
So what you did was you gave them evidence against you because you put something in writing, and they just come to you and say things or do things to you in your face.
When I put what in writing.
When you said the text messages.
So the last text messages that I sent that I posted on social media, I sent them text messages prior to telling them I want to disassociate from them and I want nothing to do with them. They still want to talk to me. I told you I didn't want anything to do with you. I didn't verbally tell you because you were trying to argue it. So I sent the text message. It's in writing. I would rather keep my distance than I disassociate. That means don't talk to me. Every time they see me, they want to have a conversation. They want to talk. And I don't talk to them. You read the text message. Why are you talking to me? The goal is to create an issue. So they're not gonna. They didn't respect the text message that I said that I sent to them to say, well, I'm not gonna speak to Arlene anymore because it's out to reach who doesn't want me to have a good time and he doesn't want me in the Bible. I left RBG and he feels like he doesn't want me with his other bike group members too. So whatever they got to do to make me uncomfortable, even when it comes to disrespecting my boundaries, that's what they set out to do. And they thought they were confident to do it because they have a political position. So they thought that they weren't going to get in trouble. But because I'm humble, I don't speak about who I know, but they're looking at his position and they think that they had the right position to do that. So they were confident in everything they did. Everything they did was in the blatant, in the open for everybody to see.
But you put the text messages in writing. So even though what they did was blatant and in the open, right? And this is just in the court of law now, right? You put the text messages in writing. Did they text message you?
They didn't text message me.
Because they smart.
No, they're not smart. The text message that I sent them last year was telling them that I disassociated from them. I don't want anything to do with them. They're still trying to talk to me and doing all of this disrespect. The other text message I sent to them just recently a couple of weeks ago was saying, listen, I sent you a text message last year asking you to keep your distance. I don't want to have anything to do with you. But there's been rumors been said about me. My character has been assassinated. There's been some things that you have been doing to blatantly disrespect me. But I specifically told you last year that I disassociate and I want to have nothing to do with you. That is just, and I keep all my.
There's nothing wrong with that text message.
Right, and that was the follow-up. And from there, they dismissed everything I said and tell me to go get mental health. Right? So they were super ones for responding to my text. You tell me to get mental health, and that is exactly what I'm using to press charges. I also have the other text messages. When someone tells you that they want to keep their distance and stay away from them because you make them feel uncomfortable when you don't do it, that is a crime. But because of what they were doing, they joined this bike group to begin with. So it's like, well, I have to be.
After you were there already.
Correct? Yes. They came there and joined the bike group, and then they started kicking my back in with all the members of that bike group.
But they on the old bike group before? Because you were in one and
I was in RBG. They were in their own. Some of them were in their own, but you know what? The same attitude that they have, they dismantled their bike group. Those bike groups don't exist anymore because of the same drama that they've had at those bike groups, right? So you come here to this other bike group, and you kick my back in with all the senior members of that bike group. And again, I don't know what the rumor was. So whatever it is that they're telling people, are not stepping up. They're just watching things happen. And so that's what I have a problem with. You're not supposed to stand there and watch these types of things happen. Regardless of what somebody tells you, you have to say, you should be saying to yourself, as a mature adult, listen, this person comes and this person is cordial to anybody. This person is respectful. I don't have a problem with this person. I don't know what the issue is, but I don't think that we should allow these things to be going on.
True.
Period.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Did you
guys start at the same? Did you start and then they came? Like, was there? And I'm only asking because and it's not about the girls, and it's not about you. It's about the people on the outside that's watching. So my question is basically, did you guys start at the same time? Do they know you? Did they know you prior to, or did they come right after you? And now they don't really know you, but they're trying to figure you out. But then they got somebody in their ear telling them things about you, and they're using those things to judge you, your character, as opposed to figuring out who you are on their own.
You talking about the senior bike group members? So the senior members have been with that group for years, right? These are the people that keeping my back in. Kalila, she came from RBG. The other people came from other bike groups that no longer exist.
So how long have you known the senior? Do they know you, or do they know you just about as much as they know the other girls?
Just as much as they know
so
the other women.
That could be a problem, but they still should give you the benefit of the doubt.
So that's my point.
That's the point. You deserve the benefit of the doubt.
Right, and the point is that I don't know what it is that's being said about me. What they should be looking at is who I'm showing up to be. And every time you see me, I'm consistently this person. What you shouldn't allow, because everything they do has nothing to do with cycling. Whatever the rumor is, that has nothing to do with what Major Taylor as a cycling group stands for. What you should not allow is for them to come in here and do the things that they're doing, kicking my back because of this directly. And then, let's be clear, people act like they don't know how women are. These are mostly older men. And you're looking at women, right? Let's look at, you're looking at the women.
That's like crazy. Older men and women.
And you're looking at the women doing the things that they're doing, and you can say to yourself, listen, if that's not right for a black woman to have to go through that, although these are other black women, these are not things we're going to tolerate. The cyclist himself, Major Taylor, went through that with white people in racism, right? He was one of the fastest cyclists in the world, but he went through the denigration, the ostracization, the bullying, the vitriol, those things that they were doing, he endured. And so you need to tell me, you let some people come in here and behave in that type of way that goes against everything that Major Taylor was good for. Even if you remove yourself and you think about the person, everything that they're doing is more reflective of what the white people were doing. And you can't say to yourself, wait a minute, some of you bitches are just envious. Right? Y'all just envious. That point blank period. What I don't like with society is they allow women to do these types of things and they don't hold women accountable. And a lot of it has to do with some of the things we talked about earlier, where you have a lot of men in society don't like the fact that they think that women come into the world with our own values.
I don't think that, yeah, we do, and they don't place any on. Not some of them don't.
Right.
Some of them don't. They don't hold the value to us.
Right.
And they don't. We're only valuable if we are, and this is just some. This is not all. And I can say this only because I've actually seen it. That's the only way I would be able to. I can't talk about something that I've never experienced or that I have never seen. And I know that it's not even about, they don't respect your intelligence, they don't respect your position, they don't respect your drive, or some. They don't respect any of that. And when they do try to, like, if they're saying defending you or trying to help you in some kind of way, it's for their own benefit.
Right. And it's how you benefit them.
And but you can only benefit those type of men one way.
Right.
One way, you're either stroking their ego, or you're stroking something else. That's all. That's the benefit. And I've seen it, and I'm like, what the heck? This dorky little person that's like ain't even smart. Right. Like, oh, she's batting her eyes. Okay.
So that's what.
And I'm not saying that. I don't know.
That's what they.
Okay, because I don't know.
That's what they came in doing, right? And then, like I said, when I told you everything I say is used against me. The last year at the Christmas party, Kalila had somebody take my cell phone off the table, right? We ended up getting my cell phone back. But one of the things I told the woman, I said, they got the nerve to come to me and they don't even know how to use their femininity and their womanhood. Well, I said that, and that's all they've been using. Is this like acting like a fucking cheerleader? You're in your 50s, right? But you're acting like you're a 14-year-old cheerleader stroking egos. I'm not single. So I'm not coming in here stroking a man's ego and flirting with men like that. But that's also what they use, right? So that's also why some of the men just didn't do anything. And that speaks volumes to how people can be manipulated. You, like I said again, regardless of what they done with you, you got to look at your character as well.
I don't think they do.
You allow somebody to come in here and play in your face.
They don't care.
All of that ego stroking and stuff that
they don't care. They don't care. They don't care. And it's sad. And I only know because I could not talk about it if I have not seen it. I have seen you weak men. Right. Some of you guys are just so weak and gullible and I'm like, you just letting all common sense go out the window to have your ego stroked.
Yeah.
Or your whatever stroke. This is, at the end of the day, this is the representation of you. This is you. How you showing up in the world. This is your values and all those things. If you think people don't even see that part, like this idiot letting this.
It's your integrity. The president, listen, I don't care what he feels about me. He showed up like a weak ass. Mm-hmm. And what I don't like is the woman he's involved with, I don't know if she's Catholic, Latino, whatever. Bottom line is, she don't look like you and me. Mm-hmm. And she don't behave like you and me. Meanwhile, you following the direction of women that don't look like the women you're involved with. So that tells me a couple of things. Either you don't like black women, you don't like their mother, or you really don't care.
So do you think that she is manipulating or controlling the way he behaves, so the things he accepts, so the things he's overlooking? You think that is her?
And things like that, she did, and it played a role.
The
you
wife?
know what I'm saying? Not the wife, but the
okay.
The girl.
That I get. I thought you were saying somebody's wife. I'm like,
so
but
so
a girl that you,
Why I mentioned her is I'm saying that if you pick the woman that you pick or the man that you pick, that means you got a type you like. The mannerisms of that person, that means you like certain mannerisms. That means if you're going to follow the lead of anybody, it's going to marry something to the person you have in the household. But you listening to somebody that's completely opposite to what you have in the household speaks volumes. It speaks volumes that maybe your black ass wasn't liked by black women and you chose who you chose. Yeah. And then because of that, you don't like black women. So you're going to get in wherever you fit in. So you got the person that makes you feel good about yourself at home, but whoever makes you feel good about yourself outside that's who you're going to roll with. So that means that in your life there's no consistency, other than you're going to roll with whatever makes you feel good, right? There's no consistency. That's what I saw. You know, people thinking they're going to go with the group that has the largest numbers, and so they took away my numbers by kicking my back in, right? So I looked at men who was cool with me, stopped talking to me. Since when? You thought it was okay to do that? And again, I've seen this with another man. You listening to them, and they are not like your wife. They don't look like your wife. They don't behave like your wife.
I'm surprised that men would even get involved in petty stuff like that.
You know what?
I know that they might. I understand being intimidated by a strong woman, but I cannot understand engaging in that girly fighting, talking about
They do, right? I talked to a fellow who said that men are worse. They're not necessarily engaging in it. What they're doing is allowing women to destroy themselves. Men, first of all, the way women think by large, women will never have any position of true power. Because of the way women do, they're not good for decision making for a whole class and groups of people. The little bit that women have, it's almost like men allow them to have it. Now here's what I'm saying about
I'm listening, I'm processing it as you say it.
Okay.
I ain't shooting it down now. I'm processing.
Here's what I'm saying that. because it's about stroking their ego. So as long as you stroke their ego, nobody's getting in your way to stop you from these little, they don't call that the little ladder that you climb at. Oh, and nobody's not standing in your way because you doing what I want you to do. You're stroking my ego and giving me your feminine energy that I need. But those women who do that don't think in larger scale on how to solve global issues. Remember, all these things that they do, none of them have their own business. You know where they work? In their accounting department.
Yeah, but we can't say all women.
I'm not saying all. Many
But
women
there are a
who
lot
do
of
those
women
types of things.
who are, and I don't even want to say there are a lot of. There's just some lazy, good for nothing. Don't know. The only way they're gonna be able to get it is to stroke of ego. I mean, that's just the truth. And and men the same way. So it's just a person thing, but for a woman, some of them, the only way to get it is to stroke of ego. And that's how long it's gonna last. As long as that hard on, excuse my language, but that's how long that's gonna last. Because when that hard on go away, they gotta replace you with somebody else that get that hard.
That's why I say that women don't have real power as a
So
whole.
it depends on how you go. Like that's the worst thing to do as a woman. The worst thing, and then they don't even understand it.
Right.
That is the worst position to be in.
Right.
That is like you're gonna be doing that forever. Cause that thing ain't staying hard for long. And it's just a fetish, and you ain't gonna be the slave of the month or year. Eventually you ain't gonna work no more. That's basically what it is. Eventually you ain't gonna work no more, and they're gonna look for something else to play with. They're gonna look for something else to get that thing hard, and they gonna be you. So where you going now? Where you going?
Exactly.
Can you sustain yourself?
Or how about this video that I made and everybody's on blast? They're not sustaining themselves because now it's on blast that you were playing in people's face. Nothing you did was authentic. You have some people that are really come in and like certain people and they come and make certain acts authentic.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had an agenda, and the agenda was to get me out of the way. Mm-hmm. Nothing they did was authentic. So the thing is that all of you allowed yourself to be played. We're too old for that. Mm-hmm. And it speaks value to the lack of integrity and maturity that they have as individuals. But why I'm saying that women have no power goes back to what you said. It doesn't last. But the women like you and I, who don't need to do that, who can maneuver, the men will participate in other women doing things to bring you down because they envy the fact that you have the ability to maneuver. Who are you to maneuver and get without needing to have a man and stroke the man's ego? Right? Because that means that they won't say that they had anything to do with it. So what they do is they participate in that kind of behavior. They may not be gossiping, but they'll let the women do it when they see the women doing it, and they know what the women are doing, and they know who you are as a woman. So
I have a question for you. This is going back to bullying. Because it's all in the same realm.
Yeah.
The years that you had to go through that, well, you did defend yourself. Because for me, I've never been in a situation where I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's my character, and I'm not a confrontational person. I'm not out here arguing. I'm not out here fighting. I'm not having disagreements. I don't have a lot of enemies. I don't have a lot of friends either. So it ain't like I got a whole bunch of friends. I don't. But I don't have a lot of enemies. But I also don't be in spaces where, like, at what point do you think, and what way would you suggest defending yourself against something like that so that you don't get caught up in something where it turns into this?
Great question. So I would say follow your gut instinct. That's first and foremost. In my life, I blamed myself, going through grief and all that. I didn't follow my gut instinct. But when I found out who the person was and I disassociated, all of these other things happened, right? My situation is unique. But what I would say is a person should just remove themselves from the situation altogether. What made me, okay, I went to other perspective groups and they kicked my back in. I didn't join those groups, but I was cycle with them. What made me do the things that I did was that I understand that there was a lot going on where my back was being kicked in. I didn't know what's doing it. So I need to play my position so I can see who's behind everything. And I realized, the person that goes into the stuff my friend is behind it. Had I not done that, I wouldn't have known that he was behind all of that all the time. So sometimes you gotta allow God to, when God tells you to do a thing, you play that position. But when you play, make sure you understand what you're doing and paying attention. You're there to find something out. Because the goal is when you cut ties, you cut ties. If you just say, man, forget it. I'm just not gonna cycle with this group, and later on that is gonna dissipate, and you're still talking to this person is still your friend, you're still with the enemy. You don't realize you're still engaging with the enemy. What I've learned about this person, we ain't ever speaking. We're not friends. We're not associates. I don't want anything to do with this person. There's nothing that this person can do to ask me to come to the table to help them solve a situation, to help them solve a solution. Something I'm spiritually led in the way that I move. So the calm that I kept, I didn't allow them to ruffle my feathers. I did not react because I'm self-aware and I'm centered. Everything that they did told me that that's who they are. And the things they did to upset me told me that those are the things that would upset them. Everything that they did was like the art of war, right? So I didn't show my, they showed their entire hand. I didn't make a move yet. You know, when I made a move, when I sent that text to everybody, that was my first move. And in that, the response that they gave me was what I'm going to take to press charges.
I thought that was a little insensitive to say something like that to you,
And
considering
discriminatory.
what you dealt with.
Yes.
Yes.
And discriminatory, right? It shows that they have absolutely no compassion, absolutely no remorse for what they've done. And that needed to be put on Front Street. Because again, we got too much of the wrong people out here in society pretending to be somebody that they're not. And then you kick my back in, and I'm really the person that has the compassion. I left my career to get into the community. But you're making people think I'm somebody that I'm not. And they think that I was going to let them get away with that. No, this is war. Anytime somebody is going through your character, that means they're going through your livelihood. They don't want to see you thriving, surviving, and being happy. That speaks volumes to the deep-seated hatred and the insecurities that they have towards me, and I've done nothing to them.
I think that I don't know them, so I don't want to say I think that could it be possible that who you are, what you represent, is intimidating? And how you present yourself, your just presentation in general, um, you're knowledgeable, you're educated, you're well rounded. Could that be? Some people just can't. They're afraid of what they don't understand.
I get that, and I gave them a pass for that in the beginning, right? So the grace that I've extended from within, they've gotten. But where the buck stops for me is where you continue to go. So you're right, it could be intimidating, and I can see that. Plus, I'm completely, cured of all trauma and things, so I don't hold hatred and things. I'm not out here reacting in life, so I can see how that makes people uncomfortable.
That's what it's from too, having a trauma bond.
Right, but they trauma bond with themselves.
But they need a new person.
That's so that's what
But that's open, right?
Yeah.
You know what was the time? She don't carry herself that way.
That's right. And right there, that who she thinks she is, because that's the attitude that we have. That's the problem. Because that's where the intimidation turns into the hatred and not caring if I live or die. Right? At some point, you got to reel yourself in. And we're not kids. I just turned 48. Some of them is in 50, 51, 52. We're not young. We're talking about nobody's in their 30s that's happening. You understand what I'm saying? So that speaks about your pathway is etched. We're not 15. So why I'm taking the stance that I'm taking is etched in stone that you would rather me die. That tells me you would rather me die, and it speaks volumes to the hatred that's from within the past as in women who has uprightness about themselves, right? And so everybody can't have the same walk, the same path. You get what I'm saying? That's why I say we have to get into being happy with the path that you choose to walk. If you're happy with your path, you're confident in it, then you're not going to concern yourself with someone else's past, how someone else shows up,
Mm-hmm.
right? When someone else shows up and their energy makes you, because I've been when I was younger, and I would say to myself, okay, what's that? I check myself before I go out to someone else. I check myself to build up on my courage and my confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Because we all have those. I self-regulate.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's something about me that makes me feel like I'm not confident, then I will learn some more, read some more. Go and I'm always putting myself out there. Because true confidence actually comes from, it's tried and true. It comes from putting yourself out there and becoming better and great at what it is that you do.
Mm-hmm.
It comes from learning.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're always on the move, you're learning. You can solve many problems. You can move in and out of groups. That's where your confidence comes from. And too often, the other thing is, women, because they don't have the confidence, they always have to go out with groups of other women. And they don't understand that they're crippling themselves, right? And in that same crippling themselves, when a woman doesn't have to show up that way, same 15 people attack that woman. It's sacrilegious, right? And it doesn't make sense because you don't know this woman's walk of life. She's still a human being. They treat me like I was not a human being, right? I am still a human being that have been through so many things in this world that they don't know about, and so many of them don't care, right? So that goes back to spiritually, what side of the fence are we on? And it is imperative for us to look at, as human beings, to look at certain behaviors and say, when enough is enough, right? Because you should allow certain things to happen in front of you. But when we have all these insecurities, people have their own ulterior motives, the things that we talk about with men. These things, when you have these issues with men, that's why they allow these things to grow. You know, and you gave it fertile ground to grow.
Were you guys ever friends? What, like, did you guys? Well, I don't want to say friends.
We were associates.
Colleagues. I mean, it's not colleagues because it's what's the associates?
We were associates, but I kept to myself a lot in fact, because there was a lot that I was going through. Then not having a job, trying to get my other business back on the ground. It's hard to not have steady income and take care of yourself. That's a hard thing. So I don't go out and project. I'm mostly to myself. I'm cordial, speak to people, and but keep it short and stay to myself. There's no harm in that, right? But society, or I would say some women, are caught up into wanting to know what your business is. They look at life as it's a soap opera, and then when they can't get into your business, they take offense to that. That's a problem because with these personal insecurities and assumptions and taking offense to things that you know nothing about, you create bigger issues that someone else has to come in and solve. Like in this matter, that other president had to step down, and the old president had to step back up for the other year. You get what I'm saying? So this year, on the end of this year, is the old president, not the one that stepped down, because he's allowed this to happen. So now you have the other senior members in the group that say, not they senior, not in age, although it's in age, but the other members have to stop saying it, because it's making us uncomfortable. Something has to give. You understand what I'm saying? That's why I'm confident in speaking the way I'm speaking. He made the decision to now say, we don't want you a part of the group, but your decision was wrong. Your decision was wrong because I'm not thinking everybody else in that group saw you allowing things to happen, and you didn't say anything. And then again, we're all black people.
So are you a part of the group now?
No, and I wasn't going to be. I was not going to remove my membership, but after I created that live video, he removed me from the group to say that he doesn't want me to be a part of the group, and then posted it to their group that they don't involve themselves in voting. Right? So yeah, I didn't.
So the video was taken like you're bullying somebody.
Because I talked about
because
I talked about the social bullying that
I think that you pointed out. I mean, of course, when you say names and stuff, people get a little shaky. Now, again, it was beyond the names to me because I'm familiar with Al Sharif. I don't know him, but I know his name. I'm from Newark. I know his name.
Right.
But I don't know him personally.
of the other people that
So
you, not to my knowledge, I don't know them. I might, but I don't really know.
the women that I mentioned, that they later joined the group. So he takes that as they can tailor the group. We don't condone bullying.
Yeah, but how are you bullying someone when you specifically, again, I don't know what happened. I don't know, but it didn't sound like it to me. It didn't sound like you were bullying. It sounded like you were just. It's one thing to bully. Like what you're saying, it's one thing to bully somebody. You was just you was letting it know. Keep fucking with me,
Right.
and I'm gonna beat your ass till the white meat show.
I don't think he was saying that I was the bully, but because I said that they were bullies.
So why is he kicking you out? That's like the.
But I think that's
because
the person that's getting bullied, the person that's getting bullied normally gets the shitty end of the stick.
Exactly.
Because if you watch, even in movies, it happens that way. The person that's getting bullied normally gets the shitty end of the stick, and it makes no sense.
Right.
But it's typically what happens.
It's typically
even in school.
So we don't even try to resolve the issue. We just get y'all away from us. Go bully her over there.
Right.
Don't bully her here.
Right. But my thing is don't do it at all.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was in a position of power as a president to say what you're doing does not represent this life group. And I'm going to ask that you stop doing it or that you cannot cycle with these president again. But instead, I don't know what the rumor is that was said about me. So whatever it is that's being said about me, put them in a position where they feel like, oh, I'm going to just let it happen. Then that tells me that you believe whatever the rumor is, right? But then, or it could very well be because I don't come outside with insecurity. To myself, I'm upright. It goes back to how you show up as a woman. If you stand in your power and you're not stroking people's egos and things like that, people feel like they don't care what happens to you. Opposed to just saying, listen, that's just how this human being is.
I think it's the group. I think that, and I'm saying that because I hear what you're saying, but I think it's the group. It's just not your space.
It's not my space.
It's a group of people who, and I don't know them, but it just don't sound like it's your space. It's because I can't see somebody allowing. I'm not gonna allow that to happen, right? Not if I know. You gotta bring it to them because you can't assume that people know what's going on unless you tell them, right? So if you say to me, this is happening, this is how I feel. Oh, we gotta have a conversation. Let's have a meet. Let's sit down and let's talk about it. Everybody can talk about it. Or you have individual conversations, then everybody come together, then you figure it out. Because you still need to figure it out, but you gotta do your due diligence.
I'm happy you said that. The old president, not last year, the year before, when they joined, Kalila and them joined, he gave me a call and he said, I know there's some things that have been going on and some of you guys are new members, so we wanted to know what was going on and support people outside of military, but a lot of people in the cycling community. So he said, okay, we're going to keep an eye on it to make sure, right? So when they took my cell phone off the table and it was an issue, he put an end to that, right? There's a difference between leadership. The other president that took over, so I'm thinking these kind of things are going to carry over and be conversed. The other president that took over, they were manipulating him. Right now, here's the difference. He comes off as the guy. Sorry to say it, but we're talking the truth. He comes off as the guy that was never liked in school. Right, the guy that girls probably thought was the woman. So now here's the it man and giving him attention. He's gonna wrap it up. Although he has a woman at home, he's gonna wrap it up and then be swayed in that direction. Now I'm not gonna come in here and stroke the ego. I got a man, so I'm not coming here to be no man. Right. So what I believe that happened was just that, and he went in that direction. But he don't understand there's other people that's watching. And one thing I do know is that other men is not going to see a man that's easily manipulated as a leader, because men like that will cause great men to go down. Right, great men will see it as, listen, I know what I'm working with and what I have to offer, and if he's easily manipulated, who knows what he can be manipulated to do to me? They don't trust men like that. So it's not just so that's what I'm looking at. Like, he thinks that, this is
The
a
whole word
Arlene
right
thing.
there,
This is
whole
right.
word.
You think that this is an Arlene thing, but he doesn't understand the whole picture thing. And because if he did, he would not have allowed that to happen. Hence why he had to step down. Now, him stepping down, I guarantee you, had to be a board meeting for me to say we cannot continue to run this cycle like that. Because maybe Taylor does this is not what we stand for as a fight group. So we're gonna have to ask you to step down and have somebody else to do it. I'm telling you, that has to be, now I'm not a part of the board, so I don't know what the conversation is. But him stepping down, yes, that has to be the conversation. You got, these are people, some of them retired, they got houses, they're married. Who knows? They got a lot of money and things that they're working. One thing they're not gonna do is allow foolishness. They're not being led by foolishness.
This is what we talked about earlier. You got to get rid of the weak link.
You gotta get rid of
You can't lead with that. You cannot lead. It's just gonna fail. When the leadership is poor, there's no success in that.
No success. When I told you,
But you can't tell them that.
You can't tell the fake ass leader.
You
can't tell them that.
They'll see the results of that.
They sure will.
You get what I'm saying? Him not running that, keeping on the 2 years and running the president, he has to see the results of his action. So now he stepped down before I made this video, but his term was to finish on the 31st of December. Now me making this video, I guess he felt like this was going to be his last movie. I mean, maybe that's to make you feel good about yourself. I didn't care because I was not going to go back to nowhere. But it tells me that you are an ass of a man. To still and all feel like, you know why he made that last move? Because that everything that happened in the group and like text messages and things. And one of the things he said is not to put anything else in writing. I'm not listen, let me tell you something.
Because he doesn't want you. First of all, everything should be put in writing. I believe that.
Yes.
I believe that everything should be put in writing. So when I was questioning your text message, it wasn't that I didn't think it should have been put in writing. That's not it. What I was thinking was they didn't put anything in writing. They didn't send you those kind of text messages because they know better than to put things in writing. But I think that everything, and I say this all the time, and I am the queen of sending an email or a text message saying what it is. A, B, C, and D. Absolutely, because that way I sent it, you got it, we can call, we can talk about it. It could be a follow-up, but what you can't say is that you didn't know.
Right. So I'm happy you said that. Now, with what happened over the summer, I put some things in writing. We had a meeting about it, and he said, okay, we're going to put you on warning, right? But you cannot put anything else in writing. So here's the thing. I would have honored that had you been an actual leader and stopped what was happening. Then I can honor that. But you didn't stop what was happening. And my mind was made up that somebody's going to get I'm pressing charge. Okay, because I already told them last year, stay away from me, and that was in text messages before they joined the group. So this is before they joined the group. You didn't respect my boundaries, I got the right to take you to court. But everything that you're doing, because it's insidious and they're secretly kicking my back in and then playing it out, how do you take somebody to court based off of that? Have nothing concrete to stand on. You have to come to court with something.
Can you explain, because people who will watch these videos will not know what the group is, and what we're talking about, and why you like to say that, right? And why being in this group, being in one of those groups, or any one of them, was important to you.
Okay, so it was important to me because cycling is a great way to stay healthy, keep your body active. It was perfect for my mental health, and it was good for fellowship. You're outside in the elements, you're staying healthy, you're learning how to be more healthy, because we don't know what we don't know by your peers. So it was a good time. Everybody needs some type of activity, like a hobby. We all need activity to be a part of our lifestyle that makes us feel good about ourselves. Hence why I like joining the club. And then I got to see the world. You get to see your state and other states from a different lens. If you're driving through New Jersey, you don't get to enjoy it because you have to pay attention to the road. When you're on a bike, you see the world from a completely different lens. And your country is more beautiful than you think it is. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of fun to be on that bicycle. And the things that has transpired over the past couple of years kind of put a damper on the very reason why we're outside cycling. Nothing that they did was empowering. It wasn't inspiring. It was not uplifting. It wasn't respectful. It actually, well, if I would have let it, it could have had a negative impact on my well-being, on my mental well-being, my spiritual well-being, on my physical well-being. You know, when women, especially when we get past the age of 35, when we're stressed out, we gain a lot of weight. Not from eating, it's the cortisol levels that spike up when we're stressed. The body, it recognizes as you're in danger, and that causes the cortisol levels to rise up. They don't understand the level of crimes against humanity that they commit by just those acts that they've done. And one of the reasons why we're talking about this is because the leadership did not honor the reason why we're out here on these bicycles. As far as letting those that type of behavior carry on went against what their vision and their mission is. And it speaks volumes to we're not standing in who we are as people, we're not in our integrity when we let things like that happen, especially to us. We have to be a community to us. No one else is going to do that for us. You know, and what we can say is the more we are a community for us, the more other people are going to chime in and respect us and be the outer community for us. But as long as we continue to do these things, we're going to have to fend for ourselves. And it's really not good for us as a collective. Yeah. You know.
Well, I hate that you even had to go through that, but I admire the way you stood up and handled it.
Yeah.
The whole video to me, I just like the delivery. You were direct, assertive,
Yeah.
and you sound like you meant what the hell you said. That's right. You stood on business.
That's right. That's right. And I wanted to say, you wanted to take my power away, and maybe thought that I would get the group in trouble, the group, the club of itself. And again, that speaks to seeing things from a small perspective as a leader. You got to see the bigger picture. So him saying you're on notice and you cannot send anything else in writing didn't take into account that you also need to make sure that I feel safe and comfortable. And being that I wasn't safe and comfortable, I wasn't going to honor my word. That's why I sent the text messages that I sent them for the second time, but it was really to get them to say something to incriminate themselves, and they did. By dismissing everything I said to tell you to go get mental health treatment. If I needed mental health treatment, then maybe you should have given me some information, not do things to actually worsen my condition if I needed mental health treatment, right? And what therapists are they? What school do they go to? They work in accounting. So what information do they have to say that I need mental health treatment, right? But it is just the typical actions of women going after women that they are intimidated by. Women who aren't needy, who are self-starters, who can just go out there in the world and conquer the world. You know, I'm not the only cyclist they kind of annihilated. You know, there's another cyclist, her name is Venus. She's better than everybody. You know, what I liked about Venus is she looked like a woman on the bike. She's sexy. Girl, with her red lipstick, perky breasts, strong, beautiful legs. The way she cycled, you knew she was a woman, but she's bad on that bike. You got to have some strong legs to keep up with her. She's bad. You know, there's rumors about her. I don't know what the rumors is because I'm a target as well, right? So I'm not a part of that group. But whatever it is, I can't say the last time Venus been on the bike. So this is not just about me. You know, the thing with me is stemming from the house thing, right? But whatever it is with Venus, but what I can say is Venus is not like that either. She's not one of those women that needs to be around a group of women. She is a self-starter. She's strong. She's brave. She's a leader. She go out there, put on her clothes, and she rides strong. She's not a weakness on the bike. So women have a problem with women who have the natural strength that God forbid just got this boldness. When we go out there and we take on the Lord, women have a problem with that because women feel they operate in fear. And they get all the problem with some of them don't want to hug. And that's the problem. The wrong hug. Yeah. They have the wrong hug. They get that good. Yeah. And you know what, I'm going to say this. Because I never got to do that. Because I come from, there and conquer the world. And any woman that doesn't need to look to her left and right, she just says, I want to do this and so I'm going to go do it, you'll try to do it. And it's unfortunate.
Yeah, and it's sad, and it happens. And the sad thing is not it's surprising. It could be surprising because we have a habit of when we cannot relate to something, right? If it has never we've never experienced it, we really can't relate to it. But in somewhere along the line, something had to have happened similar in one way, or it has to be the exact same thing. You know, it could have happened, and we need to we need to observe and address. We can't ignore and allow these things to take place. And it's not like defending everybody. It's basically, it's really not that. It's about just standing on like what is gonna be present in you. Like you guys can't around you. Don't we can't do that. We're not gonna do that here, or you're not gonna behave that way with me. And we need to be careful about who we surround ourselves with, and how we show up for who. For instance, I'm trying to figure out how to articulate it. I had a friend when I was in elementary school. She was a bully. She used to beat up everybody. I don't know why that girl ain't beat me up. We was friends though. But I was like, she beating everybody else. So we had a thing. And I think that Aries thing came out and let her know I ain't the one you want to mess with. I ain't mad at you though, but I'm not who you want to mess with. And I tell her all the time. And there's another friend I had too. I tell them all the time. You ain't, whatever you're doing, you're not bothering me. But I want you to know that you cannot bother me and you cannot behave that way in my presence. Like, you cannot do these things around me. And if something happens to you in the midst of you doing those things around me, I don't have your back. I'm not in agreement with your behavior. I'm not in agreement with how you treat people and talk about people and whisper or want to sit there. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. That's not what I want. That's not what I do. That's not who I am. And when that girl over there come punch you in the face, don't be like, "Don't help me." No, because I'm not.
Like, it's one-on-one, take care of it.
Absolutely.
That's the other thing, the ganging up where it has to be 15, 6, 8, 10 people on one.
That's sad. That don't make no sense.
So sad. So unattractive. And
it's like, why would you even want to inflict that type of pain? If somebody didn't hurt you, like when we were kids, we used to get into these fights all the time, right? With my family and if one of them fighting, they all fighting, right? So we did, but we not sitting there beating somebody to a pulp on the ground. It's like a defense. It's like, oh, they gonna bring all these people over here to fight? No, that ain't what's happening. We all fighting, but to sit there and just like literally pummel somebody, or physically, or hit somebody with something, or try to name somebody, or like all these people. That's horrible. That's just ridiculous.
It's like a community member. I forgot what part of New York, and I don't know how it happened, but 20 people were trying to jump up. I think her daughter was 12 or 13. She goes outside, trying to pull her daughter, save her daughter, and she couldn't get her from under the crowd, so she shielded her, and they killed her. She got stabbed, with the pointy part of the umbrella, and she got stabbed in the chest. And my thing is, so the daughter's alive, but the mother's not alive. My thing is, what is it that makes people create this energy where you got 20 people doing that one thing?
That's what I thought was going to happen. I am not going to lie. When I saw your video and I saw that you were talking to multiple people, and when I called you, that's what I thought. I was like, oh, Lord, we don't need this stuff.
That's what they were gearing to do. And what I said in my video is I didn't say the word, but that's where I'm going. Because they think that because I, am in peace, see, I don't show up evil face, a bad face. So they're thinking, oh, she's easy to take out. So my thing is this. What's the cost of allowing somebody or a group of people to let you get to that level of anger where you putting yourself on the dark side? You know how hard I had to work to remove myself from that? Like I told you, I've been through abuse and everything. I was an angry child. You know, I wasn't a bully, but I was an angry child and things were always happening to me. So I got myself to light and purity and remove myself from that kind of rage and anger. And so it has me looking like I'm afraid. I can easily, and no, I can't because you know what? I can still physically take care of myself, right? And so why I created that video is because I understand the patterns, human behavior, psychology of people. And if they were able to pick me off of what they were doing, then maybe they would stop their thing. Because what would have happened is I would have X'd myself out by overreacting, and then they would say you are
It would have been you. You
are right. So that never happened. They're angry because now they keep putting themselves out there and making themselves look like who they are. Somebody's gonna try to think they can hit me. And all I'm saying is I know for a fact I'm gonna go to jail. But why I created that video is because I got too much. I got purpose here. I got too much work to do and a lot to lose. But they don't own outside. So what I'm not going to do is not come outside and own my life. You know, you have to know as people where we're going to draw the line. Because the moment somebody thinks they're going to cause me bodily harm is the moment I'm going to jail for taking them out. And I'm not telling them what I'm going to do. But I confidently and proudly say that I will meet the judge and jury before there's a talk about me having a good day, right? Because I clearly understand that is coming from envy. And I have a personal vendetta against that. My grandmother was envious. I was raised by women just like that. My grandmother got me in the house, stole my childhood from me, raising kids that's not mine, tried to live vicariously through me, feeding off of my energy, tried to strip me of my integrity, of my character, my personality. But I built myself up from that. And when I see that in other women, I see that spirit. I don't like it, right? And to me, there's really no resolve from it. The only resolve from that is to address it for what it is, so people can understand the seriousness of that and stop that from happening. Listen, this is how you are, but we're not going to tolerate it, right? Whatever your reason, whatever demon that's kicking you today, you're going to have to go home and sleep on it. But we're not going to sit here and let you do that because there's no real reason for you to do that other than your personal envy and wanting to see this person not have life in them. And that is the wrong thing. So being righteous is why we shouldn't allow that to happen.
Yeah, we shouldn't. It is dangerous, and it can lead to other things, and it don't make no sense. We all grown, and we I don't know. I think that teaching our children that go by and see that or hear it, because I know you got to be at home talking about it on the phone. Right, all loud. Like, the behaviors is.
Those are the same women that wanted to come over and love, Michelle Obama, Ella Oprah, but yet, how do you like that? So you act so opposite of that.
Oh, that's a good
The
question.
math is not mathing.
It's a great question because Oprah, Kamala, and all of that, that's far removed, right? So they are not personally affected because that's somebody they feel like they can never compete with that person. But they want to see her win because it represents, now I can say, yes, a woman is empowered. Although that woman doesn't have their mentality, but the fact that they can gloat about it. Because I heard a woman say, oh, prepare for us to be insufferable. And I said, wow. And then, insufferable is not a good word. So if Kamala wins, you want the rest of the world to be prepared for women to be insufferable for 4 years. That's why she didn't win. Because women don't understand how they're coming across. We don't want to deal with anyone that's insufferable. That means that we deal with somebody that got your foot on your neck for the next 4 years. Right. So they compare, compete where there's possibility. And that's what brings on the jealousy and the envy. Because it's like, well, you can do it, I can do it too. But I don't want to do it. Whatever reason they're lazy about what they're doing, they don't want to do it. Or sometimes they're doing their hardest, but their hardest is not going to match up to this other person. It's like what I tell the guys at the halfway home, so that they can walk around with some more courage and confidence about themselves. Everybody's not the same. You watch nature, every predator is not insect. And you have to respect that. You have the little wildcat. The little wildcat got this ferocious face, but it's small. So you know that that little thing can't beat out a lion or a tiger. But guess what? It's killing whatever little animal that it does, and it eats that, right? So we have to look at what God gave us and be apex to that. Stop comparing. I said, listen, if you see Incredible Hulk walk down the street, the average person is going to get intimidated. Because who looks like Incredible Hulk? If Wolverine saw it and didn't know who Wolverine was, it would be intimidated by Incredible Hulk. But Wolverine has healing, natural healing powers, and he has those claws, right? That's something that Incredible Hulk has healing powers. But I'm saying, those are things I teach, nature and stuff. We got to look at who we are, right? And then capitalize off of who we are. If you know that you're a what do you call it? Tasmanian devil, right? Don't try to be a Wolverine. A Wolverine is a Wolverine. A Tasmanian devil is a Tasmanian devil, right? And so when we know who we are, then we can say, let's capitalize off my strengths. Or whatever my weaknesses are, find the strengths that offset that. That's what our courage and our greatness really lie. So with women and with everybody else that do those things, that's what I implore them to do. Because that envy and all that stuff is already going to be there. And all it's going to create is more and more issues. And I keep saying again, I respectfully, disrespectfully, confidently.
I think it was confidently.
That has love and light. It's not like Shampoo and Robinson. Some of us will fuck you up, okay?
Confidently.
Boldly. Exactly. Right? Or we can say, listen, if you want to stand like generals, learn who you are. Find your strengths and weaknesses and work with that.
Yeah, respect everybody in that space. And I think that it's sad that you have to remove yourself from that space.
Right.
Because it's something that you enjoy.
Right.
But there are other spaces. But it's unfortunate that still you have to go looking for another one because they couldn't make that one comfortable for you.
I'm not going to find another group. What I'm going to do is talk about myself. So the only thing is, what's good with the groups is they find these amazing routes.
Oh no, I used to watch you guys. Right? I used to watch the videos of you guys cycling. You cycle from different damn cities. I'm like, that's a lot of riding.
And then we don't hit a lot of life. It's just a long stretch of road, so it gives you the legs to press on. That's the difference between cycling by yourself and in groups. Because I'm not good with knowing routes. So there's gonna be some times.
And it's dangerous to do it on your own.
It is.
You're doing that distance and going through some little damn route.
Right. That's the other thing. Yeah. Going distances and miles with groups, you staying safe. You can ride by yourself, but now I'm not going to the city by myself. No. I'll do 40, 50 miles.
Right? It helps you keep going when you're with the group.
That is true. I can go, but when you're with the group, there's going to be those that got faster pace, slower pace. If you want to keep up, then you got to keep it, right? So you know where you're at when you're with the group. When you're by yourself, you don't know where you're at, right? You know your time. But if you don't know where you're at, so if that helps with the group as well. But it's fine, you know what I mean? And so that's also what they were looking to have me removed from. And I find yet again that people, like I say, just being righteous, sometimes people feel like they're not in a situation they don't have to hear. Well, again, as a leader, when you look at the bigger picture, the answer is no. Why should we have somebody else's? Why should we have them impeding on someone else's lifestyle? You get what I'm saying? And then when you look at what they're doing, that is the very same thing that they're trying to rid this person of. You should know that that's wrong. You get what I'm saying? You shouldn't allow them to do it. Everybody has reserved the right to enjoy it just like they are. They want to rid me of it, but they want to enjoy it. Right?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
And they're still there, and you're not.
Right.
Which is sad. Like, they still there. If that's the case, then everybody needs to go.
Exactly.
Like, how do you decide who stays and who goes? Like, it's beyond this situation that you ladies have going on. It's like They just took something away from you.
Right, and that's why I say that comes from altruism, having this position and losing this position. So that trickles down. They feel like, oh, they got backing by somebody that got he's a therapist, he's got the nobody. You get what I'm saying? And he got that by, somebody sees him a lifeline after getting fired. But he's not somebody to be in leadership position over people. But they don't know that. All you know is that someone with a position doesn't want to leave there. So they allow these things to happen. But I say again, you can't laugh at me. It's your character that's on the line because you allow these nonsense to happen. And there's going to be a time where, because you didn't hear my side of the story, you heard one side of the story, and that's what you went with. What adult does that?
True.
Right?
Sure gave me your side on that face.
And so when the other side comes
sure did.
and we got to be thinking like that as people. When more than one side reveals itself, where would you stand? Or are you going to stand in a position where you're going to backpedal and now you're lying? Well, I didn't do this. I don't like to lie. I like to say what actually happened in the stance I took and I'm standing on it. But if you got to lie and cover up, you learn to do the right thing. And at this age, you still moving like that?
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming by and let's listen to this conversation. And this is talking about your book, guys. Don't forget this book is available on Amazon, The Eclipse of School Torment.
A guide to school bullying. It's loaded with information. I've done a lot of research. I think that you would find that this book is a great asset, whether it's for the parents in the household, for the school administration. I wanted to put something out there that will give everyone some hope and different perspectives. It's not all about fighting. But what made me publish this book is when I did research on bullying, I saw nothing that empowered the child that is being bullied. Everything I saw would tell the child to ignore, don't fight back. If you stand up for yourself, it will only annoy the bully or agitate the bully. So that is putting the child as being targeted in a position of no power. Right? So both kids have power. It's not just the child that's bullied that has power. So this book provides information on how we can empower the children that is being targeted, and also how we can redirect the purpose of the child that's targeted, that's doing the bullying. That maybe that child, both children need to go into personal development classes, programs, and things of that nature. One, so that the targeted child can build up their confidence and know who they are. The other, so that the child that's the bully can redirect their focus into other things and put that energy into a positive direction. But it's great information for all sides.
It is, and it's bullying about teachers and bullying, school violence, that cyberbullying, that LGBT, that suicide. Like, it's a lot. So you guys need to get this book, especially when you have, anybody. As you can see, this carries on into adulthood. And we do need to learn how to deal with people who bully us on the workplace, in our, mainly when you're an adult. When you're an adult.
Show me how to stand on business at work properly,
professionally.
Because now I'm going to work tomorrow standing on business, and it's going to be totally different from how I used to. Because you really opened my eyes to some things in the workplace, and now I'm like, oh yeah. I want that time, I'm going to work
Confidence is different. We've gotten everything. We're right and everything in life. It's not a setup in the trap, and we're not letting them believe that. However, it's TYN, because it cuts down on the he say, she say. And now you have something in writing exactly so well. We need that.
But we also need to understand, like, one of the things that for you in your instance, Arlene, first you should have been out of the state. I think you should have been out of the state. But I also don't think you should have, because then it's like they chasing you out of the state.
Right.
Right? But even if you leave making a statement, like you did. You made a statement, and then you left. You're not chasing me anywhere. Sometimes me leaving is best for you.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's not only what's best for me, it's what's best for you as well.
And I'm gonna leave when I got my evidence to take you to court. Let me look at the camera when I said that. Nothing you did is going unnoticed. You never noticed it. So I'm gonna leave when I have my information. So since you think that I need mental health treatment, I want you to go and explain that to the judge on why you think it is okay to discriminate against somebody that you think needs mental health treatment. You standing on business. You really are. Absolutely. The person that seems to be calm to you, you don't know what they have up their sleeve. And we're talking about the art of war. There's different tactics, right? Everything you did, I said y'all showed your entire hand. You're a fool. You don't know how to fight. Everything you did told me everything I need to know about you. Yet the only thing you know about me is what I post on social media and what you learned about out to me from your observation. And even in that, you still know. You know.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta turn fools into coins and programming. I gotta publish another book on how to overcome social bullying. Listen, my creativity flows, but you still working in the accounting department. I want to see what positivity you do with what you've done. What program can you run to empower a young girl based off of your actions and everything you've done? Because I can tell you all of the things I can do to power a whole group of people, even people outside of the United States, based off of everything that you've done. No position I stand in is a position of lack. I'm always in power. Always in power. Everybody is the same. No.
Those are the wrong
Like that. That's the way it is.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you coming to
Thank you for having me. Thank you for the text message. Oh, when I tell you my phone, and if you were one of them, I cannot believe, are you okay? What's that? People calling? Because, yes, people were calling me when I was making the
Yeah, when you was making
the phone call.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just check and make sure you're all right. When people's like, it's like your character is, which it's mind boggling. We don't hang out every day. We don't do things, but we have been in each other's company.
Yes.
And I've always had pleasurable experiences with you, and I've been following you ever since I met you.
Absolutely.
Right. So I've never had an unpleasant experience. I've never seen a video like that one. I never even heard you. I said, oh, she's talking that shit. I had my daughter listening. She was like, damn. I said, I know, right? I said, what happened?
And this is over 10 years we've known each other.
Yeah.
Going more towards 14, 15
Yeah,
years.
yeah.
Never. But I tell you, even with what I've been through in corporate America, that's to be expected to a certain degree. But I have never in my life been through anything.
Can I ask you one more question? I know you want to end this thing, but I gotta ask this other question.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a group like that? Have you ever belonged to a group of people like that? Not those particular people or those particular. Have you ever been in a setting, a group setting? Some of us don't know. It's not the behaviors. It's like I have some friends, right? Some girlfriends. It was a group of us. We're not all the same anymore. But that was my first, and they're still my friends. I will say that. But that was the first time I've ever been with a group of friends. I'm not a groupie person. I'm like a solo person.
Yeah. And so that's the thing for me. The answer is no, because I'm usually a solo with myself. So this group thing is really new for me, right? So we go through stages in life, and we need to grow. And so for me, growing is like being a part of the group. What can I do with myself being a part of it, right? But what this taught me is not that I can't be a part of the group. I have to have better discernment. And what happens is a lot of people that are the love and light, and they don't like group activities. So you're not going to find bunch of people like you and me forming a group. Right, that's rare, right?
No.
So what we're doing is branching off, and we might click up for a couple of things, but it's not a consistent group activity. So that is something that will be good to see, and if that ever happens, I may join that. You get what I mean? But I think moving forward, I really don't care. You know, I might. There's few people I'm going to cycle with, few groups, so they're good people. But as far as joining, no, because I understand that people, are easily intimidated, are easily made to feel uncomfortable, and I can't I'm not here to baby people, right? So the answer is no, and it's just unfortunate. God created us who we are.
It is,
And
unfortunate, but it's not unfortunate. It's just what it is. Because I don't feel like I'm missing anything by not belonging to a group.
Right.
And it's not that I wouldn't give it a shot. I just don't want to. Right? I just don't want to. I will go and participate. Yeah, you go and participate, right? And you bring it home. Like
and
not saying.
And let me say this, because this happened like with the person I did some bike rides. The person I used to have lead my ride actually joined in with the nonsense with Altoon. And then with this other bike group, the one that used to do the hiking, she joined in the nonsense. And I'm saying this to say, these people that they believed and sided with, none of them have ever been on any of their hiking trips. And so I say this to say, I'm somebody that always shows up for a person. So if you have an event, I'm showing up. And they didn't say to themselves that you doing that, you're going to miss out on a loyal supporter. But they think that when they did that they were going to gain their support. And you have to say to yourself, when have they ever did anything to help to really support anybody outside of themselves? People, we're not children, right? And if there's one supporter that's supporting you on an endeavor and that person is loyal, that speaks for something. But it speaks for when people don't see the value in that, not that you don't have value, is how human beings refuse to see value in just people. They're making things transactional, and they're actually missing out. Now, when she has her hiking endeavors, these people that she joins sided with is not going to go hiking with herself. They don't go hiking. And I'm quite sure she's going to think about that in her head. But at 60-something years old, you should have seen the value in the fact that I was just a boy.
Well, we shouldn't even be that old.
And
going through these kind of things.
Exactly.
But to each his own.
Right.
I just can't imagine at my age have to go through something like that. And not that it won't happen. It might happen. Somebody might, piss me off. But not really, because I'm not gonna. I'm just not. Just what you do. Just let it go. Like just leave it alone and let it go.
Right.
And who you're supposed to be with, as far as that activity, it will happen. They will invite you to go on those rides, and these other people just need to fall to the wayside.
Exactly.
And again, my whole attitude is, I would never want somebody to think that they won. I know
Right.
that's bad.
No, it's not bad.
But I had to. I'm also very expressive. I say what I want. I'm the same like you did. I say what I want to say,
Absolutely.
and I would say it. I'm not dealing with this. I'm not coming back here no more. This ain't my type of thing.
Right.
And that's it.
Right. Now, see, I was going to do
I say
that.
more. I said that.
No, you want to say?
No. Go ahead.
I think maybe this would be the last thing I say, because I was thinking that. But this type of energy that what they exhibited is something that groups of people always exhibit. And I'm also a person that works against karma. At some point, you're going to have to take an action. So when I decided to stay and not leave, was for that very same reason. And for them to see that it's bigger than that, right? This false confidence that you have in the group, I'm showing up as one person by myself, breaking down the whole group. That got to interfere with you mentally, seeing that what you're thinking you were going to accomplish, you're not accomplishing. Because you cannot break a person that is self-centered. A person who knows what their power is, and the end result of that is you should be minding your business and focusing on yourself.
Yourself.
Because that's what
That's it. Like, mind your business. Ride your bike. Like, you're here for a reason.
I'm a business that changed.
Yeah, you're here for a reason. Like, do what you're here for, and stop. Yeah, that's. I don't know. I can't.
You said it right.
Yeah.
You said it right.
Basically, mind your business.
Because that's what I do. And I focus on my power. But they're so busy focusing on other people that they have no real power. And even there's a group of floppies. I'm one woman and I won through the whole group. I'm telling you, if I get an army of generals, they can't make it.
You like they can't do with me. Let me come with backup.
Because when I come with backup, it's
gone.
So that's what I'm here to show them. You've got a bad face to an ouch for a person who's following is a fool. So the people that got to come to the table to resolve this is not going to be funny. And if you really got some pride, some self-respect about yourself, you want to be out there battling for somebody that you can say when it's all said and done, you're not embarrassed to go in the back for this person. He's the type of person that will make you embarrassed to go in the back for him when you find out the kind of person he's going to be. And use your fool. Use your fool. Yeah.
All right, fool. I mean, my good folks. We are gonna end this episode of Poochie's Place. Thank you guys for coming by. We had a wonderful time.
Yeah.
And we will see you later, alligator.
Take care now. Yeah, we go to corporate America. You have the arsenal, everything. My Google be up.